folks, this is Ben Ray from Xerion Software. I wanted to put together a short video to show you how to get started with the iFormBuilder API. There's a lot of great functionality that can really help folks automate their entire workflow and save a ton of time in the process. So I wanted to show how really easy it is to get started. So essentially our API documentation is located here at the following docs.iformbuilder.apiary.io. This is our version 6, our newest API that we have. So what we're going to first do here is maybe look at writing some simple requests. So the first thing you're going to need to understand is how to first generate an access token. So in my server that I have branded.iFormBuilder, I have our API apps section under company and API apps. Now inside of here you'll see I have one client created. Now this is a client key and a client secret. Instead of writing some code to get the access token, I'm just going to just request a new access token right through this interface. So now we'll see, here's my access token. Now this is valid for 60 minutes. So I can work with this for as many times as I want within 60 minutes. Once it's expired, I must get a new token. So what we want to first do is we're going to go in here and we're going to write a sample request to the iFormBuilder API. So I have that access token. I'm just going to open up a text file here, and I'm going to write this actually in PHP. And I'm just going to first define the access token here as a variable. And what I'm going to next do is look at seeing what type of request I want to write. So for right now, I just want to write a user request where what I want to do is retrieve a list of all users in the profile. So if I hit retrieve a list of users, what it's going to do is give me a few details here. So the request details here, the parameters, the types of requests I want to write, and how to write those. So this right here I see is one of the most important aspects of this new API documentation here. So where it says request, you can choose what type of language you want to write this in. So if I choose JavaScript, it's going to give me the JavaScript function to write this exact API request. If I go in here and choose PHP, which I want to use, it's going to give me the exact code to write this request. So I'm just going to copy all of this code inside of here and go back into my text editor and basically write this. And I'm just going to save this as test.php. And we're going to save this as a PHP file. So once it's saved as a PHP file, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my access token and create this as a variable inside of here. Now a few things that we need to do in here. So we have our server name. This needs to be changed to the server name that we're working with, so I called this branded. Then we also need to change the profiles. So profiles, and this will be profile ID. My profile ID happens to be 1. And then I can get rid of the fields for right now. I don't need those. And then what I can do, I have my access token here. I need to basically take this access token and pass this in as a variable. Right now access token is not a correct access token, obviously. Now once I have that, I believe my PHP request, my file is ready to go. So once we have this built, what I'm going to do is open up terminal here, and I'm just going to navigate to the following directory in the desktop, and then I called it test API, and then inside of here I want to call the following php test.php. So when I run this function, what it's going to do is call the iFormBuilder API and return all of the details here. So again, this is just what it returned. So you see, if I just paste it in here, it's actually just a long string of the IDs and the usernames, the ID and each username. So this is every username that I have in this server here. So if I go into users, add edit users, we're actually going to see the same list of users here. So now what we're going to look at doing is figure out how we can return more than just the ID and the username. Maybe we want to also return the first name and the last name and the email. So how we can do that is we have this section here called fields. So you say fields equals, if you put nothing, by default it's just going to return the ID and the username. But ideally you want to return maybe first name. So you want to put in first underscore name, comma last underscore name, comma email. So these are all of the field names that we store in the database here. So first name, comma last name, comma email. So now we see when I run this request, it's going to return much more information. So it's going to return the ID, the username, the first name, the last name, and the email address. So maybe we just want to return last name only because we're sorting this for some application. I will just change that, save it, and call a new request, and we'll see that it's not going to return first name, it'll just return last name. So again, that's one way to get started very, very quickly with the API. You see we kind of went from 0 to 60 in just a few minutes, and we're able to call the API via a PHP function. Now I just wanted to show some other functionality and some other languages we've written this code in as well that are pretty useful. So let me just flip over here to the Google Script side of things. Now Google Script is a functionality that we really love using because it's JavaScript, it's what we use day in and day out on the forms, and it's pretty easy to write. So basically, I just wanted to show some functionality here, but basically when I call this get users, what it's going to do is it's going to write all the users to a spreadsheet. Now this can be set up to be triggered on a daily basis, a monthly basis. This could be maybe be your SQL database that every time a new user is added to iFormBuilder, you want to say give me new users and dump them into a spreadsheet or a data table. So pretty cool functionality there. Now the other way is writing from a system into iFormBuilder. So in this scenario we have a few details here. We have an inventory list, so item number, style, color, and quantity available. And this is all of the details. And we actually have a corresponding table on iFormBuilder that contains these details as well. So we have items inventory. So what I'm trying to do here is, let me get this out of the way. What we're looking to do here is when I submit a record, it's actually going to write directly to this table here. So let me just fill in a few details here. I'm just going to call this item number is going to be 9999. The style will be a style 2, and it's going to be a pink, and the quantity is going to be 990. Now at this point what I can do is I can hit create records, and what this is going to do is write all of these records to the data table. So you see right now 3 of them exist from a test I did earlier, but the moment I click create records, it's going to run this script, it's going to finish the script, and I'm going to go over here and we see we have 1526 items. If I refresh this, we should have 4 more items in the system. So 1530. So here's the new one I just added, the color and the quantity that is available in there. So again, this is just a simple Google script behind the scenes that's writing to the iFormBuilder API and can do all this stuff pretty quickly and pretty efficiently in these types of tools. So again, there's another example of writing from another outside system. This does not have to be Google script. This can be in any language. Any system outside can interact with iFormBuilder and really automate many of your workflows. So I hope this is helpful in kind of explaining an overview of the API and how to get started in it in PHP and a few other languages. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.